Hey guys, thanks for watching. Just wanted to jump on here quickly since we're kind of in between seasons from winter into summer, and I got some awesome news for you. I test drove a new dirt bike last year at the Corduroy in Ontario and absolutely fell in love with it. So tomorrow's a pretty big day. I'm going to pick up a brand new bike. This is the one that I'm going to be getting rid of. It's a 2022 KTM 300 XCW. It was my second dirt bike that I've had. I bought it out when I was out in Calgary and had phenomenal reviews, bags of power, easy to ride. But I find for me, as much as I absolutely love the bike, it does everything extremely well. If you're looking to get into one, definitely recommend it. But for me, I'm a little bit of a shorter rider, so I found that it was just, I was always struggling to kind of get my feet planted on the ground, to get the sag proper and everything else. So when I went to this store last year, to just kind of waste some time, as I was around Ottawa for a course for work, and thought I'd stop in at Wheelsport in Orleans. Those guys are absolutely amazing. It is a family-run business, been around for just over 50 years, I believe, and they sell KTM, Husky, Beta, not Beta, Gas, and Yamaha, which are kind of all of the bikes that I was interested in. I was really curious about the difference between the Husky, the Gas, and the KTM, just the Austrian brands. They were so insanely helpful and went through literally every single bike, its handling characteristics, fit, power delivery, how they rode. They probably spent, an hour and a half with me. That's weird. How the heck did the garage just open? Very strange. Let's close that back up. So apparently my garage is possessed. So this bike here being the 300 XCW, it's 2022. It is an awesome bike, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love it, but it was time for something to change. So like I said, I've always struggled with height. I did get a lowered seat for it. It's only 16 mil lower. It did help a little bit. I still struggled to touch the ground. So I did lean it over quite a few times when I was trying to go over an obstacle or something like that, where I'd try and put my foot down and there was just no ground there because I can't touch the ground really, hardly at all. So I was looking at either gonna lower this one, which unfortunately changes the geometry and the handling characteristics of it, so I didn't really want to do that. But based on the knowledge that I gained from the guy at Wheelsport, I can't remember his name at the moment, but maybe I'll run into him tomorrow and I will find that out and I can add that in the video when I go to pick up my brand new bike. That being said, based off of his recommendations and the information that I learned from him when I was there, the big Corduroy race here in Ontario last year had KTM Gas and Husqvarna at as a demo day, so I got to try all of the different bikes, all of the different sizes. Some were better than others. I have totally come to the conclusion that I just can't ride four-stroke anymore through the trails. It's a pain in the butt. They stall out really easy, they overheat, and just not my style of riding. So I've come to love the two-strokes. The 300, very fast, super powerful. Kind of feels like a Cadillac through the trails just because of the extra weight, but it's tiring. You can definitely feel the weight, and I was kind of looking for something a little bit more nimble. This one particular bike that I rode was unreal. I rode it twice that day out of the 6 bikes that I tried. Once being the very last of my test ride session because I wanted to see if it was as good as what my initial thoughts were the first time I rode it, which was kind of middle of the pack. And I did not have to stop and catch my breath. I wasn't super fatigued. I made it through the whole 12-kilometer, 15-kilometer lap, which is a long trail, a little bit of everything. There was some moto, some sand, some rocks, some single track, some roots, like literally everything. It was a phenomenal test track for all the bikes. But there's one in particular that I absolutely fell in love with. It made this thing feel, to me, very heavy, and just, it was a lot of work to maneuver the bike and get through the track. So that kind of led to my decision that I was going to get rid of this one and get into something new. Again, like I said, it was based on Wheelsport's information that they provided me. So what I've done to this, obviously, is a little bit of protection. Just so you can see, I did a light on the front, the Service LED headlight. It's amazing. It's so bright, not crazy expensive. It's been pretty durable. Haven't had any issues with it, and when you're riding at nighttime, it's like riding in the day. I can fly through the trails. It's super bright. I did a skid plate. I recommend getting a plastic one as opposed to an aluminum one, because if you do hit rocks and stumps and logs and whatnot, the plastic will slide over it, whereas the aluminum ones will not. Obviously, I got some shock boots here for if you do hit rocks and stuff like that. You want to protect the bottom of the forks. Those have come in pretty handy. The new forks on the other bike has adjustments down there, so I definitely need to get something like that. I will be getting an updated skid plate. I got the Tusk caliper and rear disc protection as well, because there's a lot of rocks where I ride and it's pretty beat up, so definitely would rather have that hit the rocks instead of the disc, so I don't lose my brakes. Same as the front. I got one on the front as well, because you never know. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of mods. It's pretty stock. It's run phenomenally. Those particular guards on the handlebars here, I do not recommend. I went for the cheapies because, well, I just didn't have a ton of money at the time. Don't cheap out on those. Pretty much every time I dropped it on its side, those have bent. It has caused them to stick on the throttle, either on or I couldn't even really throttle it. They bend super easy. They're pretty crappy. I don't recommend them. They're the Zeta XC Pro covers, and I can't remember what the actual bars are, but they're Zeta as well. But one thing I can definitely say, do not cheap out on the handguards. Get something good that's going to not bend and be durable. Otherwise, you're going to have a ton of problems. But this bike's been awesome. I love it. It's fantastic. I bought it when I was in Calgary. Lots of mountains, big rocks. I think that would have kept it if I was out there. But there's a lot of single track and tight trails here in Ontario, so it's just kind of a little bit much for me and my style of riding. And like I said, it's huge. Like, I was gonna lower it again because I just can't seem to get it to proper height for me and my short little legs, being 5'6". So yeah, tomorrow's a big day. I'll do the reveal. I'll introduce you to the guys at Wheelsport, hopefully. But I'll let you know how my experience went regardless, and I will do the big reveal tomorrow. Hopefully it's not snowing. We have some weird third winter or something going on. We're supposed to get 30 centimeters of snow tomorrow in certain areas that I'll be driving through, so that's going to seem pretty weird with the dirt bike in the back of my truck. But nonetheless, I will have a new bike tomorrow, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. Thank you for watching. I will keep you updated. And feel free to smash that like button and subscribe. And let's hit the trails once they open. Hopefully I can get out pretty soon. We're kind of in that in-between stage of winter and summer. And especially since we keep having winter all over again. It goes to 13 for a while, and then back to snow, and then back up to 13 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it's just been dragging on. So hopefully Mother Nature sorts itself out and we can get out on some trails in the Jeeps, and on the dirt bike, hopefully I can get out a bunch more. This only has 31 hours on it and like 800 kilometers, so it's still pretty new. I definitely want to do some more riding on the new bike because, man, oh man, it is freaking amazing. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll keep you updated. See you tomorrow when I go pick up the new bike. Woohoo!